morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin with me, Yitsa Bhadrai. The headlines first. 3 coronavirus suspects admitted to Patan Hospital. Police sealed Sun City apartment where the suspects stayed. Government confirms 2 new cases of coronavirus. Total number of cases jumps to 14. Government to introduce e-passes from today, urges the public to fill online form only in case of emergency. India-Pakistan plan to restart some economic activities. The move aims to minimize impact of coronavirus during lockdown. And Tottenham denies rumour linking its star striker Harry Kane to Manchester United, reserves its previous decision to lay off staff. And now the news in detail. Government authorities have taken 3 members of a family who returned home from the UK almost a month ago to Patan Hospital, suspecting them of being infected with coronavirus. The 3 people living in Sun City apartment in Pepsi Cola were admitted to the hospital after they tested positive for coronavirus during a rapid diagnostic test conducted by the local municipality. Patan Hospital informed that the swab samples from the throats of the 3 suspects have been collected for the PCR test, which will confirm the infection. The 3 persons had returned to their apartment on March 18 last month. They were under self-quarantine, informed Tilak Basnet, president of the Sun City Society. The municipality conducted the rapid test after they displayed symptoms of coronavirus. Police have sealed the apartment, according to DSP Hobindra Bogoti. The government has confirmed 2 new cases of coronavirus. The Ministry of Health and Population made such revelations during a regular press meet at the ministry yesterday. Dr. Vikas Devkota, spokesperson of the ministry, said that 2 of the recent tests turned out positive for the deadly disease. According to Devkota, a 65-year-old woman of Kailali who was quarantined tested positive for the disease. Similarly, a 19-year-old youth from Rautahad also tested positive for coronavirus, which has infected more than 1.8 million people in 210 countries across the globe. With the new case, the total number of infected people in Nepal has reached 14. 5 of the infected persons are receiving treatment in Thangari, 3 in Birganj, 2 in Baglung and 2 in Teku. Likewise, 1 person who was infected in January has already recovered.
अपडेटमा आज गरिएको राष्ट्रिय जनस्वास्थ्य प्रयोगशालामा गरिएको परीक्षणमा 2 वटा केस पोजिटिभ आएको छ। एउटा कैलाली जिल्लाको लम्बीचुवा नगरपालिकाको क्वारेन्टाइनमा रहेकी 65 वर्षीय महिलाको नमुना परीक्षण गर्दा हाम्रो राष्ट्रिय जनस्वास्थ्य प्रयोगशालामा पोजिटिभ आएको हो। उक्त केसको केस इन्भेस्टिगेसन र कन्ट्याक्ट ट्रेसिङ गर्ने काम सुरु भइसकेको छ। त्यसैगरी रौतहट जिल्लाको क्वारेन्टाइनमा रहेका 19 वर्षीय एकजना पुरुषको पनि राष्ट्रिय जनस्वास्थ्य प्रयोगशालामा गरिएको परीक्षणमा नतिजा पोजिटिभ आएको छ।
The ministry said it conducted 519 tests in the last 2 days. According to Dr. Devkota, the government has initiated a rapid diagnostic test in 52 districts. The total number of tests conducted under RDT and PCR methods has reached 10,982, informed Devkota.
जम्मा प्रयोगशाला परीक्षण आजसम्म 5691 भएको छ, जसमध्ये गत 24 घण्टामा नयाँ 519 वटा छ। तीमध्ये राष्ट्रिय जनस्वास्थ्य प्रयोगशालामा 4432 र नयाँ 411। त्यसैगरी जनस्वास्थ्य प्रयोगशाला बाहिर 1259, जसमध्ये नयाँ 108 वटा छन्। त्यसैगरी कोभिड-19 को आरटीडी परीक्षणको पछिल्लो अवस्थाबारे जानकारी गराउन चाहन्छु। हाम्रो हरेक प्रदेशमा हामीले 5000 को दरले आरटीडीहरू उपलब्ध गराएसँगै धेरै जसो जिल्लाहरूमा सुरु भइसकेको छ। आजसम्म हामीलाई प्राप्त जानकारी अनुसार 52 जिल्लाहरूमा आरटीडीबाट परीक्षण गर्ने कार्य सुरु भइसकेको छ र जम्मा अहिलेसम्मको परीक्षण 5291 वटा छ। यसरी यो र्यापिड किटबाट र PCR प्रवृत्तिबाट दुवैबाट गरेर जम्मा 10,982 वटा अहिलेसम्म परीक्षण भइसकेको अवस्था छ।
A total of 7,166 people have been kept under quarantine so far, including those who have been discharged. Meanwhile, Dr. Devkota informed that 103 people suspected of being infected with coronavirus have been kept in isolation. He further informed that the government is tracing contacts of those who have tested positive for coronavirus. Meanwhile, Kathmandu Metropolis will now be operating free emergency ambulance service to transfer heart and kidney patients in and out of the hospitals throughout the lockdown period. Kathmandu Metropolis made such announcement yesterday after concluding an agreement with Joint Ambulance Drivers Association Nepal Kathmandu chapter to operate free ambulance services. The agreement paper was signed by Namaraj Thakal, head of the Administrative Department of Kathmandu Metropolis, and Govardhan Sapkota, chairman of Joint Ambulance Drivers Association Nepal. As per the agreement, 5 ambulances will now provide a 24-hour service to the needy throughout the lockdown. Kathmandu Metropolis will financially aid the Ambulance Association for the service. The ambulances will transfer patients from one hospital to another or from hospital to home and vice versa throughout the lockdown, informed the Metropolis. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The government is preparing to introduce e-passes for the operation of vehicles for essential services from today. The Ministry of Home Affairs informed during a press conference yesterday that the government will start issuing e-passes for the transportation of essential services from today onwards after filling online forms. Home Minister Ram Bahadur Thapa said that the government decided to introduce the e-passes so that anyone in emergency can avail the permit even at a time when the whole country is maintaining social distancing to avoid coronavirus.
अधिकारीहरूले नै यो पास जारी गर्नुभएको हुनाले यो विषयमा प्रमुख जिल्ला अधिकारीहरू अलि बढी सचेत हुनुपर्ने, गम्भीर हुनुपर्ने र जोसुकैलाई पनि पास चाहिँ वितरण गर्न हुँदैन रहेछ। धेरै चाहिँ अब यातायात चाहिँ आवागमनहरू पनि बढी चल्यो। अब संसर्गहरू बढी भयो भने फेरि अब यसबाट चाहिँ यो कोरोनाको आक्रमण चाहिँ बढ्दै जान सक्छ। अब हामीले अहिले नाकाहरू पनि सबै बन्द गरेका छौँ।
The applicants must enter the details for the e-passes at the Home Ministry's website www.epass.moha.gov.np. The ministry has instructed the District Administration Office to provide e-pass only for essential purpose. The minister, however, made it clear that the passes will be provided to only those in need of emergency. Swab Sample of Zalim Mukhia, chief of Jagannathpur Rural Municipality Parsa, who has made headlines of late, has been collected for COVID-19 test. The Indian media had accused Mukhia of making attempts to spread coronavirus in India last week. Swab samples of Mukhia and 18 others from his family has been collected, informed Dr. Madan Upadhyaya, head of Narayani Hospital, Birganj. Mukhia had used his personal vehicle to carry foreign citizens to Birganj and place them under quarantine. Swab samples of other individuals who came in contact with Mukhia have also been collected, the hospital further informed. One person has been killed in Khadak Rural Municipality, Ward number 6 of Saptari district after getting caught in a confrontation between police and locals. The incident took place yesterday while police were trying to impose the lockdown as the locals protested. The deceased has been identified as a 65-year-old Jainav Khatun. Khatun died after falling in ground during the unrest between a team of police deployed by Area Police Office Kalyanpur and the locals. Police said that Khatun died in the stampede that followed after the unrest. However, the victim's family has claimed that Khatun died after police used excessive force to control the situation. And now, the news from Economic Front. Nepal's telecom giant Ncell has paid rupees 14.33 billion capital gains tax CGT to the government to clear all its dues. According to the large taxpayers' office, Ncell submitted the amount on Sunday. Prior to this, Ncell had paid rupees 4.8 billion CGT to the office last Tuesday, as per its commitment to clear the dues in installments. Chief of the LTO Jhalakram Adhikari informed that Ncell paid rupees 4.5 billion on December 31st as the first installment. The LTO had last year demanded rupees 60.71 billion from Ncell as CGT after the company changed hands some years ago, but the Supreme Court later revised the amount to rupees 21 billion. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back, and now the international news. India and Pakistan are planning to partially reopen their economies to minimize the cost of restrictive measures imposed to halt the spread of the novel coronavirus, Reuters reported, citing officials in the two countries. According to the news agency, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said on Twitter he will address the nation today. The speech comes at the end of a 21-day lockdown that has severely disrupted economic activities and left millions of its 1.3 billion people out of work. Two Pakistani cabinet ministers told Reuters that civil and military leadership would meet to decide whether to extend countrywide restrictions there beyond April 15. The World Bank has said economic growth in India and other South Asian countries is likely to be the slowest for 4 decades this year because of the coronavirus outbreak. Although India's shutdown is likely to be extended as more states have requested, officials say its term could be softened to help households and businesses. A government note said some manufacturing could be restarted, with firms in the autos, textiles, defense and electronic sectors allowed to operate at 25% capacity while ensuring social distancing. Officials said the number of coronavirus cases in India was 9,152 on Monday, including 308 deaths, a swift rise from fewer than 1,000 2 weeks ago. Kepo village in Indonesia has been haunted by ghosts recently. Mysterious white figures jumping out at unsuspecting passerby, then gliding off under a full moon sky, Reuters reported. The village on Jaya Island has deployed a cast of ghosts to patrol the streets, hoping that age-old superstition will keep people indoors and safely away from coronavirus. According to the news agency, a village youth group has been coordinating with police on the unconventional initiative to promote social distancing as the coronavirus spreads. Chief of the group said that they wanted to be different and create a deterrent effect because ghosts are spooky and scary. The ghostly figures are typically wrapped in white shrouds with powdered faces and rimmed eyes. In Indonesian folklore, they represent the trapped souls of the dead. But when they first started appearing this month, they had this opposite effect. Instead of keeping people in, they brought them out to catch a glimpse of the ghost. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. English football club Tottenham Hotspurs have dismissed all rumours regarding the club striker Harry Kane's transfer to other clubs. The club made it clear that he won't be sold to any domestic rival. Club star striker Kane, who also captains the England national team, is reportedly all set to leave the club this summer. Kane had earlier signed a 6-year contract with Spurs in June 2018. BBC quoted Harry Kane saying last month he would not stay at the North London club just for the sake of it. Rumours have surfaced that Spurs' long-time domestic rival Manchester United have developed keen interest on taking the striker to Old Trafford. The club yesterday reversed its previous decision to use furlough scheme on March 31st. The club in its statement has said non-paying staffs will receive 100% of their pay for April and May. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. 3 coronavirus suspects admitted to Patan Hospital. Police sealed Sun City apartment where the suspects stayed. Government confirms 2 new cases of coronavirus. Total number of cases jumps to 14. Government to introduce e-passes from today, urges the public to fill online form only in case of emergency. India-Pakistan plan to restart some economic activities. The move aims to minimize impact of coronavirus during lockdown. And Tottenham denies a rumour linking its star striker Harry Kane to Manchester United, reserves its previous decision to lay off staff. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website JanataSamachar.com. We urge all our viewers to follow the government directives of the lockdown and follow healthy hygienic practices. Wash your hands, keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.